Well, it's Friday Night Football once again, and KSLA is bringing you, I should say, to the latest and biggest, best games all across the Arklatex. We've got reporters spread out everywhere, live coverage across 3 states, Louisiana, Texas, and Arkansas. KSLA Sports Director Chris Demersion, he's on the field where the North DeSoto Griffins will be duking it out with the Northwood Falcons. Andrew Wellman is getting ready for Magnolia as they take on Arkansas. And let's toss things to KSLA's Chris Demersion first for a look at his big game. Chris, looks like it's going to be another great matchup.
Jeff, on and off the field, of course, 2 similar communities in Stonewall and Blanchard kind of congregating here at Jerry Burton Stadium. Kickoff set for Friday at 7 o'clock. But this isn't the only good game happening in town. I'm also going to check out the Airline at Evangel contest. Of course, 2 1-5A foes duking it out over in West Shreveport. Also going to check in with North Caddo and Magnolia School of Excellence. Now, back to this contest. Pretty interesting. As we checked in with Austin Brown, the head coach for Northwood this week on KSLA, he told us this is really the first true test Northwood has had this season. As you know, the Falcons got wins over Benton, Peabody at Alexandria, and Mansfield last week. And so he's mentioned how this test against North DeSoto this week, a team that is coming in with a 3-0 record, it's really the first true test, as both teams are undefeated, as a matter of fact. But really, since North DeSoto came back last week with a really big win against West Monroe, storming back in the second half of that contest, winning 39-28. Coach Brown knows he and his defense will definitely have to be on their toes, as North DeSoto has a lot of grit, and a riding a high pretty much last week from a comeback win. But besides that, the Griffins have been pretty potent offensively this year. In their win over Union Parish on the road in Farmerville, they scored 46. Last week, a couple weeks ago versus Center, they had a 49-point performance as well. So something Northwood head coach Austin Brown mentioned this week is keeping the defense on their toes. They will definitely be on their toes tonight versus North DeSoto. We'll talk more about this matchup later this hour and all evening long right here on KSLA. Of course, setting up for the big show this Friday at 10 o'clock, this evening at 10 o'clock, KSLA Overtime right here on KSLA News 12. But for right now, here in Blanchard, Chris Demersion, KSLA News 12 Sports.
All right, thanks, Chris. Looking forward to those highlights. Let's now toss things over to KSLA's Andrew Wellman, who's covering the game between the Magnolia Panthers and the Arkansas Razorbacks. Andrew?
Jeff, it's a beautiful day here in Texarkana, and we got a matchup between Predator and Prey as the Panthers take on the Razorbacks here in Texarkana. So let's start with those Panthers. They're coming in 2-1, have an extremely explosive offense, putting up nearly 38 points per game. But their defense does have some holes in it, allowing their opponent to average around 27 points per game. And that's going to give the Razorbacks a perfect opportunity to get right. Right now, the Razorbacks are off to a slow start. They're 0-3 right now. Actually, Razorbacks head coach Leroy Hood is actually making his way over here. Coach, I saw you and your team trying to get a couple things together just a minute ago. I saw you guys working through some things. You guys are off to a slow start this season. What are you guys trying to, what do you see in your opponent in Magnolia that you guys can kind of take advantage of today?
I mean, for one, they're a very physical team. You know, they run the ball, put up 62 points last week against a really good Hamburg team, so we have our hands full. But, you know, over the last 2 weeks, we focused on the physicality, playing with pad level, and just executing both sides.
Coach, your offense has struggled a little bit here and there, but this defense has some holes in it. What is something you think you can take advantage of?
Well, for one, we got to do better as far as tackling is concerned. You know, we worked on tackling with the dead week. That Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, the focus was, you know, physicality, tackling, wrapping up, because we did a poor job tackling the last 3 games. So that was a focal point, you know, heading into this game, and I think, you know, you'll see a much better defense as well as a much better executed defense. I think tonight you will see the real Razorback team come out and play with the type of intensity that we like.
Well, Coach, I wish you the best of luck today against those Panthers. I'll be back later at 6 p.m. to tell you more ahead of this matchup. Reporting live from Texarkana, Andrew Wellman, KSLA News 12 Sports. Back to you guys.